A short overview of the project. Now we are here to do this kind of European Youth Parliament, so the youth people will be at the pivotal, in the center of this discussion. So this is, as you have seen, a project called EU Discovery. So it's going to be a discovery again what the European Union means, and to share with all the European citizens our European identity. This project started in March 2022. We went in Benaguasil to do a kick-off meeting. After we did some local activities with the professor and the school of Fermi in Cecina, a village close to Guardistallo. And yes, of course, Benaguasil, Coruche, Jagosdak and Guardistallo are the partners of this project. And now today we are in the end of this project. It's going to be a discussion on European Union, and with this discussion also ends the project which started this year. I have to thank you, this association, Patineo, which developed with me this town twinning project. Yes, going back in May 2022, we went in the school of Cecina to do a presentation regarding the European Union and the opportunities coming from the European Union, and to do some questionnaires with youth people regarding what they think about the European Union and the COVID-19 situation, so the past experience and the future expectations. Now I'll give you some results of this questionnaire regarding the European Union. As you can see, one question was, do you feel more European citizen, or world citizen, Italian, or citizen of your city, of your region? And as you can see, the answers were mostly Italian, but after also citizens of the wider European. So it means that, of course, we are all European, but we have to try to be more closer to the European Union and to understand what being a European Union citizens mean. And yes, the other results were regarding the European Union and how much we talk about the European Union at school. For example, how much does your school talk about the European Union? Mostly of the students said they talk just a little bit, so it's necessary to talk much about the European Union. And these students are really positive regarding the European Union, because they say that the European enlargement will affect better their lives. So they hope that the European Union is going to work well in the future, and it's going to be is going to include also other states, other member states. And also after my presentation of Erasmus program and other program regarding the European Union for youth, they said that they would like participate in a EU program. As you can see here, most of the people, they said yes, they would like to participate in EU program like Erasmus. And together with these results, also they think that at school, professors and teachers should talk more about the European Union. This, yes, of course, this is a picture of this event with the students. Yes, resuming all the program I taught at school, they are European Solidarity Corps with EU-ed volunteers. They represent the volunteering program of the European Union, and of course the most important and the famous program of Erasmus+, which is not only studying but also working. And we have also EURES and Discover EU. And I'm going to present a little bit this opportunity because maybe many of the people who are here in this room, who are 18 years old, probably they can apply to this program. This is a program with, which allows you to travel in Europe, and European Union gives you some money to travel. And if you are born between 1st of January and 31 December 2004, you can apply to this program and you can succeed to have this opportunity. Is someone from this age, with 2004? 2004? Okay, you are lucky because you can apply to this program and travel in 2-3 countries. And with this program, you will have a pass, and you can travel mostly by train in all these countries. This is after you have this the official website link where you can apply to this program, and yeah, if you are lucky, next summer you can travel for free in European Union. And yeah, 2022 is also the European Year of Youth, so European Union gives voice to the youth people, doing some conferences and events, and event like we are doing now. So talking about the European Union and the opportunities for them. If you go to the website, you can find this map. Where you can find all the events in your city, regions, and states. So if you're interested in these topics, you can go there and yes, find an event you would like to be involved in. So we thank Pina Picerno for giving us this video, yeah. I will keep the video from Europe Direct in the end. I want to pass the speech to our hosts. So can start Giulio Saputo from Movimento Europeo Italia. So they will do an intervention regarding some speeches regarding European Union and yes, some considerations and maybe their vision with regarding the youth policies and opportunities. Yeah, please, Giulia, you can start.
Thank you very much. I'm very sorry. I have to read the speech because I don't want to say anything wrong. But if you want, I'll send the text by mail to Lorenzo, and maybe he can share it with all the guests. Okay. So okay, I read.
I'm going to. For the guests speaking Italian, I'm going to do a little short resume in the end, so everyone can understand all the speeches.
But I'll read in English.
Okay, so it's
okay. It's not a problem. So, first of all, I'd like to apologize for my English. Unfortunately, even though I am a convinced federalist, I didn't have the chance to study well the language or to go abroad in Erasmus to practice it. If you think about it, despite the progressive increase of resources allocated to the project, Erasmus mobility is still reserved to a lucky minority of students. But perhaps this is the proof that no common language is needed to share a culture, ideals and values. Because after all, Europe is much more than just a nation state. It is the only alternative humanity has ever given to the violent assertion of its own identity. Europe is unity in diversity. The language of Europe is translation. Europe is peace through dialogue and law. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for the invitation to this splendid event. As a federalist, I hope not only that democracy will be elevated to the supranational level, realizing the project born in Ventotene of the United States of Europe. Of course, creating supranational institutions capable of responding to the many challenges we face and finally giving the Union real strategic autonomy and the Constitution is fundamental. My hope, however, is also that democracy will return to be valued on the level that is closest to the citizen, the municipalities and neighborhoods, according to the principle of subsidiarity. Local communities, the cultural diversities that characterize us inside or outside the nation are a unique heritage that we must not lose, but preserve in our multi-level identity. In a globalized world, it is essential not to forget one's roots and to accept a non-exclusive multi-level identity model. I can simultaneously be a citizen of the world, a European citizen, a Tuscan and a Pistoiese, that is my city, Pistoia, okay? Or an Inter football club fan or a Federer fan. The levels of our identity are not only vertical, but also horizontal. It is remembering our past and our local history that we can understand how, after all, as Anderson said, nations are imagined communities, founded on forgetting and inventing a common history. As Europeans, it is what we choose to make of ourselves and our future that defines us for who we are. To be European requires no privilege of blood, no superiority based on the fortune of being born on the right side of the world. I close this point with Bauman's metaphor, remembering the words of a well-known poet of the Polish literary avant-garde. What scanned, this is from Bauman, okay, this from the book The Europe, an Unfinished Adventure. Scanned the treasure boxes and the rubbish bins of his memory to crack the mystery of the European character. What would a typical European be like? And he answered, delicate, sensitive, educated, one who won't break his word, won't steal the last piece of bread from the hungry, and won't report on his ill-mates to the prison guard. And then added on reflection, I meet one such man. He was an Armenian. I would like to conclude by remembering the President of the European Parliament, David Sassoli, who was also celebrated this morning. I don't want to bring back the many beautiful personal memories I have shared with him since I was Secretary General of the GEF Italy, but to try to show the merits of an extraordinary person, thanks to whom Europeans were able to experience a unique example of participatory democracy. Yes, because the recent conference of the future of Europe was a great victory that Sassoli managed to achieve by fighting against the inactivity of governments and the European Council, managing to open a window of reform for the Union before the most recent crisis, which showed all the limits of the European institutional setup. Unfortunately, the crisis came, a global pandemic first, and then the war in Ukraine. In 2016, while the EU was going to face one of the deepest moments of crisis, it was not afraid to clearly say that fighting for a better Europe, achieving the United States of Europe, was the task of our generation. And through the years, he acted accordingly. During the pandemic, the EP had a crucial role in keeping the funds of the Next Generation EU program within the EU budget and fighting for increase of the income through more EU own resource. The first step towards a proper federal budget, the greatest advancement of the EU integration in years. He achieved all this while never losing focus on the citizen. One of Sassoli's priorities was to bring EU institutions and the people closer by relaunching the Conference of the Future of Europe that seemed to be forgotten due to the pandemic, working for enlargement, and finally promoting the founding values of the EU of peace and solidarity in several moments during the pandemic, during the Afghan or Ukrainian crisis, and beyond. The reality is that, even today, governments continue to put the brakes on the project to reform the Union approved by the conference, relaunched by the European Parliament, and also requested by the Commission. Perhaps the best way to remember David is to continue his battle to finally have a constituent legislature for the 2024 European election. I therefore conclude with these words during an event we organized in our parliament, Montecitorio, a few years ago. Alone, the member state of the Union cannot respond to the crisis of our time. The construction of Europe is not an accident of history, but the result of struggles and battles, of dreams of equality and justice. We must say strongly that the achievement of these 70 years are a guarantee for the future, guaranteeing us peace. We cannot complete alone as an individual nation of the international scenario, but Europe can do it and can be useful for a world that needs fair rules. Not to surrender to fear, we have to change. It is time to build what we lack, the United States of Europe. Thank you.
Thank you, Giulio. You also mentioned Sassoli, so it was a perfect intervention here after the street named to David. So yeah, now is Alberto D'Alessandro. So he's from Casa Europa Vereggio. So please, your turn.
Thank you very much, Lorenzo, for your introduction. Thank you for the invitation and for the beautiful project you are managing. I'm very happy to be here with you all together, 4 European cities which share common values and intend to share also projects and activities. It's quite interesting. I also see that I have a very young public, which is quite good. I really hope that the message, complicated messages that we are talking today are not so complicated, actually, but the objective is to share knowledge, to exchange, and work together for European values and objectives. I thank you also for the wonderful speech from Giulio Saputo, a very high-level speech. I would like to have a copy, Giulio, because a lot of contents, a lot of many messages, very important messages that you declare. And 2 words to introduce Casa Europa and myself. Actually, I spent 15 years in the European institutions in Brussels, working in Brussels in the European Commission. Also today I'm working for the European Commission, but the office in Italy, working for communication and doing activities, mainly information activities to the public. The objective is to show what Europe does and to present the programs that Lorenzo introduced before. Especially, I'm grateful to Lorenzo who introduced a lot of programs related for young people. This year is the year for young people, so it's very important we talk about what European Union is doing. But also I was working in Strasbourg for another important institution, which is the Council of Europe. And I really would like to stress and to inform you about this very important institution. European institutions are very complicated. The structure, you know, is very complicated. The European Union, and it's difficult to pass the message, but I would like really to underline the fact that there is an institution called the Council of Europe, which is working in Strasbourg, relating to human rights, to the rule of law, and to democracy. This is the oldest European institution, and starting the activities in '49, so 10 years before the European Union. And Croatia is also a member of the Council of Europe, as Spain and Portugal, of course, and the member states are 47 right now, 46, because Russia is not anymore a member of the Council of Europe. Because to be member of the Council of Europe, you have to respect the rules of democracy, you have to avoid the death penalty, which is quite important, and you have to respect the freedom of people and to respect the European court. And what Russia is not doing right now, so it was decided by the Parliament of the Council of Europe to not include anymore Russia between the member states. But all the other countries, and there are all the Balkans, Armenia, which was mentioned by Giulio Saputo, is a member, and many members from the Caucasus are part of this very important institution. And what we do in Casa Europa is to try to be, to put, what I always say is that Europe is far away. It's very difficult to deal with the European organization, with European institutions, and citizens feel the distance with the European institutions, with the Eurocrats. For this reason, we talk about Eurocrats, so people who work in Brussels and they don't know anything about what the needs of normal citizens. This is not true in reality, because these people are technical people who knows what are European needs, but the distance is very far. So we invented, as there is the network of Europe Directs, you will see the intervention later on, but also we established together with Samuele Borrini, which is here today, Casa Europa Viareggio, which is a presence of European institutions in the territory. The idea is to put together the citizen with the European institution to inform, to communicate, to do activities all together. So what, to conclude, I think these kind of projects are very, very important, because especially for young people, is to start to know a little bit more about the European institution, what they do, about European programs, especially about the opportunities, opportunity to travel, opportunity to study, opportunity to enjoy Europe, to discover other countries, the culture, the traditions. Today you discover Tuscan traditions. We see outside this bandieratori with the flags and the drums. And so it's a way to discover Europe, to travel, and I think this program of EU Twinning is an important program, so to put together people, citizens, and to share cultural issues and values. But also is the opportunity to launch new ideas, to propose, because it's always important for the European institution to listen to the voice of citizens. So I hope that we will have a debate later on, as it was done with the Conference of the Future of Europe, to have proposals, aspirations that the European institution can retain and can transmit to European Parliament. So you are the Parliament, you are the citizens of Europe, and it's very important to listen to you, your ideas and your proposals, and I will be very happy to listen to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alberto, a person with a lot of experience and who is working to get closer Italian and European citizens to European institutions. So now it's turn of Eduardo and Chiara from Gioventù Federalista Europea.
Hello to everyone. So my speech is in Italian, but I gave a translation to Lorenzo, so afterwards he will translate it for me. I'm confident that he will do his best. I just want to make a point in English, then I will switch to Italian as an introduction for everything. Whenever we hear speaking of the youth, of the younger generations, we always hear that it's a remote future, okay? It's something that still has to happen, okay? This type of dialect must cease to exist, okay? We are no more confident that we will be able to live and see a real future, and a future from here to 30 years, okay? We are running out of time, and we need that our instances and our needs are heard by the politics and by the politicians, and our points are trusted forward, okay? This is as a little introduction in English, then afterwards Lorenzo will translate it. I switch to Italian. Domani ci troveremo nelle urne elettorali per decidere il futuro del nostro paese, un paese stanco e in crisi, come d'altronde lo è gran parte del continente europeo. Voteremo per scegliere il futuro del nostro paese per i prossimi 5 anni e moltissimi miei coetanei, anche ragazzi più giovani di me, non trovano un partito che li rappresenti o che ritengano degno del loro voto. Insomma, il futuro del nostro paese sarà deciso molto probabilmente non da chi lo vivrà appieno, ma da chi o non lo vivrà proprio o lo vivrà in maniera non attiva. Questo è un trend già evidenziabile da anni, sia controllando l'affluenza alle varie elezioni precedenti, sia in voti tenutisi in altri paesi, come in quello della Brexit, in cui il Leave vinse proprio grazie ai voti delle classi più anziane della popolazione. In questo mondo, quindi, in crisi e profondamente diviso, come possiamo far valere la voce dei giovani? La GFE, The Jeff, in più ambiti, tramite i militanti, si occupa sia in prima persona che sul campo di portare avanti l'agenda politica del movimento, inserendosi in tutte quelle lotte che rispecchiano la base valoriale europea, portando la risposta federalista ai problemi presenti, come in caso di appoggio ai Fridays for Future, nell'aiuto concreto agli esuli del recente conflitto in Ucraina, oppure aiutando concretamente chi lotta contro la dittatura bielorussa, o ancora andando nelle scuole a istruire i giovani cittadini e le giovani cittadine sul funzionamento della macchina europea. Ma lottiamo anche nei palazzi istituzionali, fungendo da avanguardie e da avanguardisti delle necessità politiche più urgenti e da spina nel fianco che non permette alle classi politiche europee di adagiarsi sugli allori o ignorare determinate problematiche. Di fatto la GFE agisce quindi da cassa di risonanza di tutte le battaglie contemporanee, dal femminismo alla crisi climatica alla pace, alla richiesta di una globalizzazione equa e paritaria, dandogli una dimensione istituzionale. Il giovane militante federalista deve e fa, citando Mario Albertini, della contraddizione tra fatti e valori una questione personale. Ovunque i valori in cui credo non sono rispecchiati nei fatti e quindi sono solo formali e non sostanziali, il militante ma anche il singolo giovane deve attivarsi per essere sicuro che questi valori vengano assicurati a tutti e tutte. Parlando senza peli sulla lingua, siamo stanchi di sentirci dire «bravi giovani che vi impegnate, voi siete il futuro». No, noi non siamo il futuro, un futuro remoto, ancora da manifestarsi. Noi siamo qui, ora, ed agiamo nel presente, proprio per costruire un futuro che, se non viene creato in questo momento, probabilmente neanche esisterà. E allo stesso tempo non stiamo chiedendo alla classe politica progetti realistici, che non possono essere realisticamente creati, ma presentiamo le nostre proposte con dietro idee e progetti ben chiari per la loro realizzazione, e vogliamo per questo essere ascoltati. Non ci basta più il premio di consolazione, non deve più bastarci, perché, come ho detto prima, non è sicuro che ci sia un domani a cui rimandare queste decisioni. Concludo il mio intervento con una citazione tratta da un libro, Lezioni del Novecento, di Pietro Scoppola. È necessario per far capire a tutti la necessità dell'impegno del singolo, anche se pare che esso, da solo, non possa fare nulla per cambiare le regole del gioco, o sembra che sia rilevante davanti agli eventi globali. Pietro Scoppola nel libro parla della guerra e della resistenza, identifica la guerra e la crisi della guerra, che può essere anche accomunata con le crisi pandemiche o climatiche, con una realtà globalizzante che annulla l'individualità del singolo e annulla la singola persona. In questo modo la guerra viene così messa in stretto rapporto con le vicende italiane, sottolineando il momento della coscienza esperienziale come partecipazione individuale. In questo modo la resistenza non è più solo partecipazione all'evento bellico, quindi prendere le armi e combattere, diviene coscienza personale, diritto di giudizio soggettivo individuale. Se nella guerra si esprime al massimo livello il momento della potenza e della violenza, la resistenza è vista come affermazione del singolo al giudizio e all'opposizione. Quindi, non solo prendere armi, ma anche scappare, oppure nascondersi o aiutare qualcun altro. La guerra appare come un evento globale che travolge l'umanità e in cui domina il momento della potenza, del potere militare e della violenza. Viceversa, il momento della resistenza è il momento di affermazione del giudizio individuale del singolo, che affronta consapevolmente anche il rischio di essere ucciso o di andare in un campo di concentramento, ma non può comunque essere impedito di giudicare e di sentirsi, quindi al di sopra della violenza globale. Il diritto alla resistenza come affermazione del sé. Quindi, per quanto queste crisi sembrino toglierci la possibilità di agire liberamente ed essere padroni del nostro destino, nonostante si possa essere portati a pensare che siamo tutti corrente dello stesso fiume, ruota dello stesso ingranaggio, non è così. Ognuno, volenteroso di alzarsi e lottare, può e cambierà il mondo a lui circostante, e questa forza spinge ogni singolo giovane militante della GFE, della GEF, ed ogni singolo ragazzo che questo mondo lo vuole cambiare. Grazie.
So, thank you, Eduardo. I'm going to do a very short resume of what Eduardo said. They belong to the GEF, which is the acronym of Gioventù Federalista Europea, and he said that, okay, tomorrow we have the Italian election, so everyone, starting from the youth, we are the people who is going to decide about our future, so we have to contribute to the future of Italy and the entire European Union, and as Jeff militant, their purpose is to fight for goals. They think they are right for youth, and they will keep to fight in the future to have a fairer European Union and with more equality, and to give us a future to the youth. So I will keep the intervention from Europe Direct Florence in the end, because now, since we are a little bit late, I want to give voice to the youth and to the professor. She's Nora. She's a professor of high school and counselor of Guardistallo, but also we have Rosita Rosini and Virginia Carrella from the high school professors. And yes, please, Nora, you can start. We will move to the youth interventions, and so yeah, now it's your turn, and after students will start to talk. It's okay. She will talk in Italian. She's going to present the youth and the activities, and yes, her position, and after we will start in English with all the youth participants.
Allora, buongiorno a tutti, benvenuti. Siamo stati molto contenti di aver accolto queste delegazioni questi giorni qui a Guardistallo. Dunque sarò molto breve proprio per dare spazio a voi giovani, e quindi sintetizzerò proprio all'estremo quello a cui andremo a assistere questa mattina. È un progetto unico per molti motivi, ma il principale è questo, che questa mattina qui nella sala consiliare di Guardistallo assisteremo ad una seduta parlamentare europea. Una seduta parlamentare europea sui generis, perché saranno dei giovani parlamentari a condurla, ad essere i veri protagonisti di questa mattina, di questa giornata. Quindi c'è un po' di emozione da parte di tutti noi. Io per prima cerco di dare fiducia alle nostre ragazze, ai nostri ragazzi che interverranno. Comunque è un progetto, ripeto, molto bello, un progetto che è proprio quello che serve per farvi capire quali grandi opportunità l'Europa vi offre. I ragazzi, i nostri giovani parlamentari si offriranno, quindi presenteranno delle tematiche che stanno particolarmente loro a cuore, che per loro sono magari particolarmente importanti e per le quali forse richiedono anche degli interventi, diciamo prima possibile da parte delle istituzioni o di quant'altro. Quindi io vi cedo volentieri la parola, in bocca al lupo, facciamo un'ottima seduta come siete abituati a fare.
She said good luck to all the youth participants, and of course the youth are at the core of this project, and yeah, the future of Guardistallo is for youth people and young people, students. So yeah, she was very short to give space to you. So yeah, I present. So we will have Arianna Bucci, Laura Pluta, and Gaia Musotto, Atikse e Amine Ramadani from representing Guardistallo here on my right. We have, sorry for the pronunciation to everyone, Maria Jose Cardona Cubels and Alvaro de Gracia Cantero from Benaguasil. We have Mila Milicevic, Zeliana Kolarevic and Milana Kolarevic from Jagoda, Croatia, and Miguel Antonio Marques Palau Vieira de Carvalho. He works in Coruche, and he is going to represent Coruche and Katia with as well from Coruche. So we start from the Italian part. My proposal, I propose to discuss about these two thematics, which issues would you like the European Union will focus more in the near future? So what do you expect that the European Union is going to do in the future, and which are your expectations in several sectors such as environment, civil participation, European identity, education, and so on and so forth, as you wish. And what do you expect the European Union will do to make youth more participant in the European Union construction? So, which kind of conference event you would like to participate and be involved in, and some suggestions regarding European Union. What do you expect the European Union will propose to youth in the next year? So, please. If I may, I will start from the Italian part, so feel free to start.
Okay, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, but working together is success. Good morning, everybody. My name is Arianna Bucci. Sorry, I'm not really into technologies. My name is Arianna Bucci. I'm a student from the high school Liceo Fermi in Cesena, and I'd like to start my intervention by posing you a question, which is, why does Europe need to involve young people? Why does Europe need to interact with young people? Well, I'd like to bring some points given by the Youth Europe itself, and the main points are that we do need young people to develop mechanisms to engage a dialogue with them and facilitate the participation in the shaping of national policies. We need to support youth organization and to include local and national youth councils. We need to promote participation of underrepresented groups of young people in politics, youth organization, and other civil society organization to support a way of learning to participate from an early age. I also would like to pose to you another question, which is, how does Europe can reach us? How does Europe can reach young people? Well, the European Union absolutely needs to build up a real communication with the audience. We need to get in touch with young people using their communication channels and their own language. What does it mean? We need to use social media such as school projects, experience, students exchange, and we need to debate about European topics, but in a factual way. So we should just get a bit farther from the subject itself, treating the topic as typical school one, and then get a bit more materialistic on it. We believe that Erasmus represents the main interaction between Europe and young people. In fact, it allows young people to immerse themselves into different culture, environment, to discover new habits and customs. It represents such a great growth opportunity. And this kind of project strengthens our European identity, finding an effective civil participation. In the Europe of tomorrow, we sincerely hope to invest in this kind of experience, which gave us the possibility to build up personal and administrative skills that only this kind of project can let us reach. We've established discussing between ourselves that as 18 years old citizen, we do concern Italy, so our country, instead in a larger European context, both from a practical and a conceptual point of view. We do feel a sense of belonging, and we are absolutely aware of all the advantages that we can take from Europe. We could talk about coins, from the silliest things, from coins or to the Schengen Treaty, but we should understand how to benefit from this situation in our everyday life by stepping up communication networks. So probably one of the most important points of our argumentation is that we need to give more stretch to the communication between Europe and young people, because there are such a lot of opportunities, but we do not know them. Now we would like to analyze a second problem that will be taken by my mate, Gaia, about the environment and the environmental question. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gaia, and I'm also from the High School of Cecina, Liceo Fermi. And today, the other topic we chose to talk about is the environment, because we thought it's really important to talk about it. I'm gonna start introducing what is the climate clock. The climate clock is a clock that shows us how quickly we are getting to the increase of 1.5 degrees of the global warming, and it also shows how what is the quantity of CO2 that has been already emitted and the global warming until now. The European Union took part in a project that lasts until 2050, which in this project is trying to achieve some goals that I'm gonna explain now. It's trying to lower emissions of CO2 until there will be none until 2050, and protect citizens from heart, lung, or brain illnesses caused from pollution. An example of pollution can be smoke, because it's bad for our health if we breathe it. But citizens are not the only ones who need protection from Europe, because there are also very species at risk of extinction because of the global warming. And the consequences of reaching these goals can be really positive if we reach it in a really short time, because we have no time. So it will be positive in Europe, but also in the whole world, and it will be a positive. There will be positive consequences in a global way. And what we ask to Europe is to keep people aware that we need to improve our mindset, and we need to change our ways to act, because this future, this world, this planet is ours, and we need to protect it, because we are gonna leave it there one day. So thank you, this is it.
Thank you, Arianna and Gaia. Just some comments regarding Arianna's speech. So you talked about communication. So today communication with the conventional TV, but also by social media, of course, now is going to be one of the main instruments to communicate what the European Union does. So yes, of course, it's going to be a real important part of, because the European Union does things, but also communication needs to be good to show what the European Union does. And also regarding what Gaia said, I think you didn't say it, but I'm doing an example for Friday for Future. So Friday for Future could be connected with your speech. As we know, Friday for Future goals is to reflect about environment and our future challenges regarding pollution and sustainable living of all citizens. Okay, so now it's turn of you, right? Sisters Ramadani. I think they will give an intervention regarding their trip in Brussels, because you probably don't know, but in another previous project made by a person here with the people called Expanding Horizons, thanks to the project they went to Brussels to have a first experience in the European institutions and to discover the capital of European Union. They are Atixe and Amine Ramadani.
Good morning, everyone. Some of my classmates and I, this last November, went to Brussels to visit the city and in particular the Parliament. It was a wonderful experience that we deserved by writing a letter to the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, about what we would like to improve in our school. This is the letter that we wrote, and we read it for you.
Dear Mrs. von der Leyen, we are writing to you from High School Enrico Fermi of Cecina in Italy regarding a school project called Expanding Horizons, which consists in writing a letter to you on how to improve our school. We have many ideas because there are so many things to improve for our education and instruction. First of all, the school should be completely free, books included, without continuous tests and evaluations, only some occasionally. Moreover, the school should be technologically equipped with classrooms, equipped with interactive whiteboards, tablets, computers and internet accessible to all. According to us, students should use the tablet to not have to carry books behind to reduce health problems due to the weight of backpacks. Instead, at home, students, if they prefer, can also study with books. The school should also be equipped with language laboratories, and the lessons, in addition, could take place sometimes outdoors, if there's good weather. Or, in the classroom, we could play more games and interact with each other for greater participation and interest from all.
In our opinion, sport is also a discipline that must be improved in our school, because we don't have the proper tools to practice this discipline, so we need new tools. Also because near our school there are various outdoor sports, spaces for rugby, football, basketball, tennis, swimming, athletics and others, which the school can make available to us for free. At the end of the school year there should be no rejection, but only the grade that the student deserves. In fact, this risks decreasing the students' motivation and indirectly to increase social inequality. In case a student has to recover some subject, in our opinion, we'll need a teacher. Thank you very much for attention. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
thank you to the Ramadani sisters. They also knew Simona Bonafè, the Europarlamentarian in Brussels. So I know it was a very good experience for them. So I hope also we will do other projects like this. Also, I say to the other municipalities, do this kind of project in order to bring people and youth to Brussels. So now is the turn of the Spanish. So feel free to speak regarding these issues or your comments regarding.
Well, thank you very much for inviting us to this project. And we are so glad to stay here sharing with you all these journals. And we are Álvaro and María José. We are representing the Council of Benaguasil. Well, we don't have a written speech, but maybe we have some ideas we like
yes, feel free to.
Yeah, we like to share with all of you.
Exactly.
Well, we have two facts, two events that have occurred in the last 4 years. COVID-19 pandemic and the war between Russia and Ukraine. Is evident that these two facts has changed our point of view of life, job, education, and all of these subjects. But I think that COVID-19 has been an event that not only have give us bad things and bad experiences, but for example, we have increased our digital skills. The digitalization has been improved from 2 years till now more than in the last 10 years, maybe. And maybe it will be good for youth. It has given us a new youth. Maybe the problem in the European Union is that youth is not maybe near with the politics and politicians. They are really disgusting with this. And on the other hand, they are misinformed about the politics that European Union go ahead. So maybe one of the aims of the European Union and this government should be involve the youth from every country in the politics of the European Union and their decisions. Some of the projects which go ahead with this is Erasmus Exchange. I'm an ex-Erasmus Exchange student, and it was a great experience where I was living with a lot of cultures, diversity of cultures, and maybe is this the point that we have to improve in our community. When we talk about community, we are talking about all the countries together, but each country has its personal identity. Maybe we have to work for being common, all the cultures in this common project, and improve the sense of community. And it will be an aim to don't have maybe it will be better for in the future don't happen some events like this kind of war in Europe. Maybe the oldest people is not used to be in a situation of war, even not the oldest one. But maybe, as we say in Spain, el racismo se cura viajando. Racism will be cured by traveling. So, improving the skills of communication and involve the youth in the politics, it will be improved. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. My name is María José Cardona, and I will try to be as short as I can, because the fact that I will speak today is about the education, because recently I studied a master to be a high school teacher music. So I noticed that what they showed to me in my master is nothing involved about the European Union and how to communicate projects to the young people when I will be a future teacher. So I think it's important for this student generation to know this project, as we are here tomorrow, the Erasmus, or what this project that we are enjoying now. And it would be good for them because they can they can enjoy different cultures, different countries, and feel more European. Because in Spain, this feeling is not as strong as in other countries, and I think that would be more positive. And I think that's all. And for sure, try to be more conscious about how young people as us are living, about the work and how this COVID affects to the work, and that, I think that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Maria Jose and Alvaro. Just a comment regarding what both said. For example, one result of the questionnaire was, do you feel more attached to which kind of identity? And as you can see, the results was not so good because most of the youth people, they don't feel so European, with so European identity. So that's exactly the goal of this kind of project of Town Twin, to try to bring some of the people who answered with the national identity to change their answer in European or world identity. So now it's the turn of the Croatian youth. So feel free to talk about these issues, or if you have some your thematic. So we have Mila, Zeliana, and Milana. Please.
Hello to everyone. My name is Milana Kolarevic. I'm from High School of Economic and Administration in Osijek. So I think that European Union should more focus on education and I think that main mistake in education and schools and universities is that teachers and professors are not giving and showing young people the possibilities and opportunities that they actually have. It's more like go finish high school and work, and that's the problem, because a lot of young people are not doing what they want to do, and a lot of them actually has a really good ideas, but they don't have an opportunity to progress it. So I think it should be like more focus on that, to give them and show them all that opportunities.
Okay. So you said someone has to trust in youth, so someone has to give opportunities to the youth people and to try to let their opinions come true, what they would like to do in the future, and someone has to give them an opportunity to express what they would like to do. The others? Does someone want to? Okay, I pass to the other. Okay. So yeah, please, Miguel, it's your turn. He will represent the Coruche regarding the youth policies and youth in general.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel. I'm from Coruche in Portugal. I apologize for my English is very, very bad, Henri, but Katia and helped me and translated my intervention and me too. Efetivamente, e no momento em que a Europa e os jovens são postos em causa e são testados com uma guerra com um país que está na Europa, não faz parte da União Europeia, mas está no continente europeu, a Ucrânia, em que a participação e a cidadania europeia é posta em causa, os valores como a democracia, a justiça e o Estado de Direito também são eles postos em causa. É fundamental que a participação dos jovens e que a cidadania europeia seja reforçada e seja trabalhada e pensada por todos nós. Não sei se queres ir traduzir. E deve ser pensada
I'm going to translate in the end. Maybe
Ok. Deve ser pensada por todos nós. A participação e a cidadania devem estar juntas, devem estar ligadas, porque sem participação e sem cidadania europeia, a União Europeia não será sólida e não conseguirá conservar o Estado de Direito e a democracia e a cooperação entre todos os povos. E este encontro e este projeto é o exemplo disso mesmo, de cooperação, de partilha e de troca de boas práticas.
So he said, as you know...
I can translate if
okay.
It was more easy. So, good morning everyone. My name is Katia. I work in an environmental consultant that help the municipality of Coruche to implement and find European opportunities to submit their projects in several areas like environmental, circular economy, education, and this project is one case of this work. What Miguel said was that in the actual situation that we are living, with the war, is essential the participation of the young people in the questions of the European Union to support and bring new ideas to promote these topics and give some help and evolution in these questions. Okay.
Thank you, Miguel. Thank you from also the Portugal. So I will propose if someone of the people here in this room wants to propose some question, or you want to discuss about some issues which appeared during the discussion, feel free to do it.
Of the teachers who works at the Liceo Enrico Fermi of Cecina, and I'm glad to be here today with my students, some of my students, in particular the two Macedonian students. I mean, and a teacher that had this beautiful experience in Brussels last year, wasn't it? So I have a question for you. I've heard all your beautiful points. You made points out of your education and your school system. And as an educator, as a teacher, I know that I have a great role here. I mean, education has a great role. It has a crucial role in making up new innovative minds. Education is not only field heads, right? It is to educate and to fill hearts, right? It is to teach about tolerance, but how can we teach about tolerance? Probably practicing it in our classes. Today and yesterday, they celebrated 2 important days in Brussels and in Strasbourg. Do you have any idea of what I'm talking about? The Day of Languages in Europe. 27 nations and 24 official languages. I think that this is amazing. Neither had I the opportunity to join an Erasmus program, even though I feel that I'm young, okay? I had the opportunity to travel after my university studies. And I guess that traveling is it plays a big role in make cohesion possible. So my question is, you've talked about education. How can we help you guys in bring Europe in our classes? I mean, I personally instituted the Europe class over the years, and I start from the 3rd years where I teach. And I start to talk about Europe and the opportunities to travel and to work abroad, okay? But how can you think we can really fill the gap between communication, young people communication, and educators from the other side? Educators and politicians as well. So, yes.
Maybe from my point of view, the problem or the matter in this question is that young people is learned that there are 2 kinds of European countries: first-class European countries and second-class European countries in the Mediterranean. So we are all the time aspiring to go to these first-class countries and be involved in their daily routine, their skills of communication, their jobs, their everything. So maybe we have to give the value that they have to the other countries and make a better sense of community between us.
Okay, thank you for your response. Is there anyone who wants to answer?
As I've already said on this page, I think that this topic should be treated in a factual way, which means that it shouldn't be seen as a subject. So there should be alternative ways to introduce it into our classes, into our lessons, not just giving some knowledge with a red finish. It is the final product, we could say. We should interact, we should build up conversation, debates, we should start effectively applying our minds, we should start wondering a bit about our Europe, which is our Europe. I would really like to feel it as my Europe, our place, also safe place, we could say. So I don't know which is the best and effective way to do it, because I'm just a student. I don't know which are all the procedures behind all this process, because I know that there are some points that must be taken into account and those that must be avoided. So I do not have real answer to your question, but I think that the best way could be starting from students, building up a dialogue with them and trying to find together which must be the starting point, and then going together or through this walk, if we could say that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Miguel.
In Coruche, young people united and create a youth association of young people. Criámos uma associação de jovens para debater os problemas dos jovens e estimular a participação dos jovens, quer a nível local, quer a nível nacional, quer a nível europeu. Criámos também uma feira de formação e de empreendedorismo jovem para se debater as questões de participação, estimular as questões de participação, mas também de cidadania europeia, porque nós jovens temos que nos sentir cidadãos não só de Portugal, não só de Itália, não só de Espanha, mas sim da União Europeia, com intercâmbios, com partilhas, com visitas, com Erasmus, com todos esses programas que tão bem conhecemos.
Okay, so I will translate. One important thing in the Coruche municipality is to work to regional level, and after that pass to European level. So to work with young people, the municipality creates an association where the young people debate the issues and the solutions and what they want to do, and this association brings to the municipality opportunities to transmit this information to European level. Another thing that the municipality did was to create a job fair to transmit and share these opportunities with the all population, but essential the young people, and work with them these questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Of course. Discussion is open and it's free.
Now, as they were saying too, I think that the problem is a multi-level one. Okay, so there is a clear lack of information of the institutional workings of the European Union in the Italian schools, and I know it by a fact because as Jeff, we go in the schools and we work to bring the civil education, European civil education. So our goals are to teach to the young students and younger generations how the institutions work, how the history worked of the European Union, etc. It's first of all not an easy task for an organization because we are not a party, but we are political. And now in Lucca, where I'm from, there is a far-right assessor, so it's pretty difficult to enter in the schools. And also, not all the students really have interest in the things because they are mostly imposed by the school. So we need a change, but also a better work on that point of view, on the institution point of view. And the other one is that there is zero European representation in the streets and in the squares fights. Okay, I mean you will never see if we are not there. Okay, you will never see a European Union flag in the Fridays for Future. You will not see it in the Sardinia movement when it was it. Okay, when was the time of it. You will never find the European Union alongside the youth and the younger generations to fight with them, and it creates the paradigm of a European Union which is in a crystal palace, okay, which cannot be touched, okay, like a crystal floor, okay, crystal ceiling, and which cannot be touched by the younger, and they will be demotivated by it. And you leave that gap to be filled by everything that is wrong in the world, okay? So nationalism, etc., all these forces. Just this.
No, I agree with Edoardo. Only 3 more points. First, we need the civic education in school, but we need maybe a citizenship European education, a common program of citizens. Oh, help me.
Citizenship.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we need this in school, an European program of it in all the European school, because also who teach in Italian school know that civic education is one of the. It's not so easy to teach, because also in Italy it's not only one I don't know.
Just one person does it.
Yeah. It's spread from all of the teachers. Okay, and the second point, I think that the European Union have to support all the association, but also all the institution that spread the European values. So we need that all the citizens know that there are this association, and also know that the institution fight for the European values. And the last point is that we need that the European institution. We need a reform of the European institution, because now they cannot solve all the problem of the Europeans. So this is our problem. This is the problem maybe also because the European not really trust on the European Union, because it's simple. The European Union cannot choose its own budget, no? The national state choose the budget for the European Union. It's something really not democratic, no? Also in the American Revolution, no taxation without representation. We don't have a common taxation, so the European Union doesn't have a budget for doing politics. So in a globalization world, we need the institutional strong enough to answer, no, to all the issues. Also the issues from the Fridays for Future or the democratic issues. The European Union doesn't have now the tools to answer to all this challenge, but this is why we need the reform, no? And why the process of the conference of the future of Europe is start, and also the European Parliament take some decision on this, on open a convention of the treaty reform, no? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. It's your turn to take word. Yes.
What role do you think English should have in the European Union in light of the recent Brexit? So, should it lose importance, or and at the same time, should we learn more languages, European languages, like everyone of us could speak like 3 or 4 European languages? Or do you think English should still remain a frank language, which is used among all Europeans?
Well, I think that English is still important because it's one of the most spoken language in the world. So I think everyone, well, from my point of view, I will learn every language that there is. So I think that should probably be also the opportunity to study languages from all Europe, but I think English is still important because we could learn other languages, but English, as it's one of the most spoken, it's really important.
Yes, regarding to the question, we have a special case in Spain that we have one official language and 4 co-official languages in our country. Only one country with 47 million of people population, and from my point of view, it's positive to learn as much as possible. But English in the European Union, as Spanish in Spain, is a tool of union. This to have only one language maybe join us more than learned a lot of languages. In the case of Spain, the particular case of Spain, many of the regions that have a co-official language, as Valencia, I consider that it has a richer culture, an amount of culture, literature, and ways of communication and expression richer than in other countries. But maybe we have to be more useful with this and have an effort, do an effort to learn only one language that join us and make easier the communication between all the countries.
Yes, thank you very much. Indeed, we have to learn every day from our students, from every single person. As a part of the commission responsible for the European projects at our school, I can tell you that Maria Jose, talked about the opportunity to travel and the opportunity to talk about Europe in our classes. And I do confirm you that I think that we don't do enough for this. Probably 1% does it, but the rest does not. Traveling is the number one opportunity for a young person to grow emotionally, practically, but only the minority of our students in our schools have the opportunity to travel. From a teacher point of view, I can tell you, I can confess you that bureaucracy sometimes kills us. Bureaucracy sometimes just makes us limits, gives us limits and constraints. And it is very difficult to go and, do some zigzag along the school laws. So I wish and I hope that in the future we can really do more and create more opportunities like this one. I think that the event that was going on here in Montescudai over the last days gave us the opportunity to share the local culture and traditions, but thanks to these experiences, the local community really felt stronger because it was exposed to the feelings of acceptance, and it was exposed to the feeling of understanding the other. And this is why Europe is a big dream. We don't have a constitution, but we share values. We speak different languages, but we have a great history in common. So I think that it is important to create events that are based in social cohesion like this one. And with you guys, it's amazing to work with you because the brainstorming ideas that come out from your opinions give us the drive to go on and to keep working with you the best as we can. As European citizens, we should build a sense of community, not based on theories. I know that you guys are to the end of I mean, Greta, with her ideas, just put an end to the blah 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 era I think that you want to see us in action. You want to see the words in actions. And Guardistallo's days gave us the opportunity to see some actions practiced. As I said, we cannot talk about tolerance and diversity if we don't practice it in our classes and among ourselves. So, if there are any questions, they are very welcome. If not, Lorenzo will conclude this session.
Yeah,
Yes,
I wanted
sure.
to say something about the question. It's a really interesting question, I think, because it's a big deal actually. Personally, I think that English is it's a key point in our communication system, our communication channel, because it's easy to learn. Because actually, it's much easier than many other languages. But I think that European languages, such or the other ones, constitutes an heritage, and I think that we absolutely must try to conserve it all over the time. As the guy has already said, they have a story behind them, and we cannot avoid all this. So I think that they should go on to parallel streets. I don't know if this was right. Well, I think that they should go on together, yeah, without touching, but still together. Thank you.
So learning more languages.
Yeah, I think that personally, at school we do study 3 languages. Italian, Spanish, Italian, Spanish, English, and French. I've seen, we've been touching many different cultures, many different literatures, and I think that they constitute the biggest part of the heritage of a country, because from this point we can understand how a collective mind of a country is built, how the same event could affect differently the country, how the same events could have different consequences. So I think that we must conserve them, because they're really important for us. Today we live in a society that it's quite useful. What do I mean? I mean that everything that's not actually useful, we avoid it. Because we need some practical, some factual abilities. And everything that do not constitute, do not have an effective application, just go away. Yeah. So this is my personal opinion about it. But I'm a language lover, so I probably...
So we really don't want to lose your ideas.
Thank you.
I think that I launch you the challenge to really believe in what you're doing and really want what you have in your hands. What you have in your hands is not the future. It's the present. And you build your future starting from your days at school, yes? So feel free and feel motivated to tell us what you think about Europe and how we can improve Europe and bring Europe to our classes. I know that you have accumulated over these years of pandemic a lot of fears. But when we all went back to school all together without the masks, we were so happy to see each other and to feel the emotions of the people around us. So I guess that this is the moment that you guys take your future in your hands, your present in your hands, and you go on and give us the opportunity to collaborate with you and your ideas. Thank you very much for your attention. See?
So I will thank you to everyone, and we conclude this session with the video from Europe Direct. And know if you know, but in each region and mostly in each capital of your province or region, we have Europe Direct, which is an office, a local office, which represents in a kind of what the European Union does locally in each territories. And I will show a video from Diletta Gasparo from Florence, which is one of the main important Europe Direct here in Tuscany, and she helps me to organize this meeting with some leaflets and other stuff, informative stuff. So we show you this video, and she's going to present you what they do. And please, if you have in your region or in province this kind of office, you can always contact them to help you to develop projects, to know some new kind of programs. If you're a youth and you want to do Erasmus, not only studying but also traineeship, or develop a company with funded by European funds, you can contact this office. I put just a moment, and we show. You see this video, and after this session will be concluded, we will give you